Should nothing of our efforts stand, no legacy survive, unless the Lord does raise the house in vain, its builders strive. To you who boast tomorrow's gain, tell me, what is your life? A mist that vanishes at dawn, all glory be to Christ.
Thank you for listening to today's edition of the Open Bible Podcast. My name is Ethan Jones, and today I will be your host. Today is the 18th edition of our daily devotional series through the Proverbs for this month of January. As with all other episodes of this podcast, our hope is that this series would serve to the edification of our community of believers in Pinoca, as well as anyone beyond who might be listening. So wherever you are today, I want to welcome you. My prayer is that today's devotional would truly be an encouragement for you in your walk with the Lord today. Today's passage for consideration comes from Proverbs chapter 18, which reads, "Whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. When wickedness comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes disgrace. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The fountain of wisdom is a bubbling brook. It is not good to be partial to the wicked, or to deprive the righteous of justice. A fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul. The words of a whisperer are like delicious morsels. They go down into the inner parts of the body. Whoever is slack in his work is a brother to him who destroys. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs into it and is safe. A man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his imagination. Before destruction, a man's heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor. If one gives an answer before he hears, it is folly and shame. A man's spirit will endure sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear? An intelligent heart acquires knowledge, and an ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him, and brings him before the great. The one who states his case first seems right, until the other comes and examines him. The lot puts an end to quarrels, and decides between powerful contenders. A brother offended is more unyielding than a strong city, and a quarreling is like bars of a castle. From the fruit of a man's mouth, his stomach is satisfied. He is satisfied by the yield of his lips. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, and obtains favor from the Lord. The poor use entreaties, but the rich answer roughly. A man of many companions comes to ruin, but there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Now, in my first year of college, I like to think that I knew a lot. I would raise my hand all the time in class and contribute my hot takes and opinions on many things. I thought that I was quite brilliant for my age, but when I got my final grades back, well, I had a 55%, a 57%, a 54%, and most surprisingly, though, was my Intro to Christian Theology grade, 50.5%. Now, I grew up in the church. I thought I had all the answers of the faith at 18 years old, and I truly scraped by with 50.5% in the class, and a passing grade was a 50%, so you see how close it was. But what I realized as I took a hard look at the previous months of that semester was that I focused way too much on enhancing the way that I spoke, seeking to sound smarter, and I forgot to learn what was being taught. I forgot to actually listen to what was being said. Now, I'm no rare case, unfortunately. This is a common stereotype for first-year students, especially at Briarcrest where I attend. Those who know the least tend to talk the most. But that even goes further than the academic realm. It's pretty common to interact with people who simply enjoy the sound of their own voice, but have nothing of substance to say. And there's a kind of irony to that so often the air is filled by words of little substance. But this is a serious thing. Most of us probably have heard at one point or another in our lives the phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." And if any of us have actually lived life, we will know that that phrase is a lie. Words can hurt. They can hurt others, and they can even hurt ourselves. The writer of Proverbs reminds us that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your words can speak life and they can speak death. They hold weight. Words can tear down governments, they can kill marriages, they tear apart churches, friend groups, and all things alike. Words can build up, or they can tear down. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion, Solomon says. A fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. If one gives an answer before he hears, Solomon writes, it is to his folly and shame. He tells us the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous man runs into it and is safe. So if we are to be wise, if we are to live righteously, it means running to the Lord and living according to Him. So it should really concern us how we should live, how He would have us use our tongue. Well, thankfully, this passage does not tell us only what to avoid. Solomon tells us that an intelligent heart acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. We should be seeing parallels here between this and what James wrote, that you must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Solomon is not only giving a principle for those who know little, is for those who are wise as well. An intelligent heart is slow to speak, quick to give ear to others. And notice he is not saying that those that are intelligent acquire knowledge. It is those who have an intelligent heart, or we could say a wise or obedient heart. So those who have a wise and obedient heart, those are the ones that receive knowledge. So whether you are well learned or low in studies, what matters most is that you listen to knowledge, seek wisdom, be a lifelong learner, and use your ears wisely. Seek knowledge with it. It is far more beneficial to use your ears to hear the counsel of the wise than it is to hear your own voice and your own opinion. There's a reason that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, as many people have remarked before. It's that we can listen twice as much as we speak. And maybe that ratio looks a little bit different on the circumstances, but do that. Speak half as much as you listen. Seek the wisdom of others. Again, think back to what we read a few weeks ago in James. What a great forest set ablaze by a small spark. The tongue is also a great fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the person, sets the whole course of his life on fire. So we must take great care with our words. Learn to season our words with salt. And that lesson is learned by listening, not by speaking. So as you go on with your day today, as you go on with the rest of your week, think about how you can speak less and speak with more wisdom and grace. When you are corrected, can you be quiet and listen before you respond? It is a tough lesson to learn, but it can be something that brings so much life to your words. And this is probably why Solomon finishes this chapter by saying, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." In just a few weeks of marriage, my wife Katie has taught me so much about speaking with care. And what a blessing it is to learn that. So I want to encourage you to seek that out today. Speak less, listen more, speak life rather than death, and do all things as an outpouring of your love for the Father, the strong tower. Run to God today. Run to him and be safe. Blessings on you all.